In the last 2 months of my entrepreneurship journey, I've made 10K per month a lot more times than I did in the last 3 years. And I think it's because I genuinely understand this one thing that inshallah will help you be making 10K per month. And if you're not making 10K per month yet and you're wondering why, Fedi, I've been trying everything. I've tried different business models. I've tried different ways of outreaching. Tried everything. It's because you're not doing this one thing. And inshallah, I'm going to share it with you. So 10K per month is actually really easy in terms of the business side of things. You just do the maths. You understand that to get to 10K per month, you have to close a certain amount of clients, you have to get a certain amount of sales, and then you just do the maths, and then you know the input that needs to be taken. And once you know the input, things get quite easy. You just look for tactics basically on YouTube, and then you can buy a course on a certain tactic. But I've been in hundreds of courses, and I know for a fact that 98% of the people in the courses that were with me never signed a client. To be fair, most of them never made their first dollar online. And that's because maybe you could say, well, Fedi, they were lazy. Fedi, they didn't take in the knowledge that they needed to take. They didn't action the right things. Well, they had the right information they needed. What was missing for them? Well, the biggest thing is who you are. Who you are is going to dictate 99% of your actions in the first place. But it's also going to dictate 99% of your results. Because who you are is going to dictate how you see, act, and do everything. And who you are is based on these three things that we're going to dive a bit deeper into later. It's your beliefs, your traits, and your skills. So basically, it dictates what actions you take and how you take those actions. Now, if you don't identify someone who can make 10K per month, you will never make 10K per month. I had the best tactics online. Genuinely, I paid for the most expensive courses out there, the most expensive mentorships and programs. I had the knowledge to be making 10K per month, but I still wasn't. And I still wasn't doing the right things. I was always holding myself back. And that's because deep down, I never really identified as someone who was making 10K per month. And I asked this to my community actually. And I asked them, I was like, brothers and sisters, because we've got some sisters in there. I was like, brothers, what do you guys think about yourself? Do you guys believe you're an entrepreneur? 85% of the comments said no. But when I asked them why, all of them, 100% of those 85% said it's because I still haven't made money online. I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, obviously you're not going to make money online if you don't believe that you are the person. If you don't believe you're an entrepreneur, one, you're not going to take the right actions. You're always going to prioritize school. You're always going to prioritize work. You're never going to actually take the right actions you need to be taking. Secondly, if you're waiting for something on the outside to prove to you something that you can feel on the inside, you're never going to make it. I knew for a fact none of those people that left that comment were making money online. I knew them because I know them in the community, right? I know none of them are making money. Those 15%, I said I do see myself as an entrepreneur because I asked this question like a month ago, have made money since then. Genuinely, it's that simple. It's who you see yourself as. You will create that person into your life. If you see yourself, if you believe you are a certain kind of person, you will act as if you are that person. And then you will achieve the things that that person achieves. And now you can look on the outside and be like, yeah, I am an entrepreneur because I am making 2K, 5K, 100K per month. So when you look at this, you have to understand that why do I see myself a certain way? Well, you have certain inputs in your life. And these inputs, such as taste, smell, hearing, seeing, all of that stuff, you give them interpretations. So let's say you see $0 in your bank account. You interpret that as you being not good enough. You interpret that as you having a meaningless life. You interpret that as you being behind everybody else. These things that you see around you, that you hear, that you taste, that you feel, they just are. They have no meaning. But as humans, we give them meaning. So we know how to fit in with them. We know where we stand amongst these things. For example, a house is just a building. But maybe you've heard and seen and had certain things in that house that make you feel really nostalgic when you walk past it, or it makes you feel like you're at home. In reality, it's just a building with four walls and little rooms inside. But your interpretations give things meaning. And the meanings that you give them, these emotional ties, end up creating one, your beliefs around these things, and two, the way that you identify around them. So this is really important to remember. We're going to zoom past this because honestly, like I just want you to be able to make 10K per month. It's really not that difficult to know how to make 10K per month. You know how to make it. You can make it with like e-commerce. You can do it with dropshipping. You can do it with halal agency. You can do it with IMA. You can do it with like normal SMMA. You can do it in loads of different ways, right? But if you don't identify as someone who can make 10K per month, because you look at your outside world and you're like, Betty, but the things in my out, like I am lazy because I wake up really late. Or if you keep looking on the outside of you instead of working within, you will always follow what's outside and never make a change. I told you it took me 3 years to make money online properly. That's because I never identified myself as an entrepreneur. I never identified myself as someone who works hard. I always saw myself as someone who's very chill, laid back. On the outside, you have to feel the person who does. On the inside, you have to feel as if you are the person who does anyways. Even if at the outside everything is contradictory, everything goes against what you truly want to feel inside, you have to do the inner work. You have to spend time telling yourself, I am an entrepreneur. I am making 10K per month. Not because you're going to manifest it. Generally, like manifestation, in my opinion, doesn't exist. I don't believe in a lot of the unseen things because I don't think Allah revealed them to us in the Quran. But what I do understand is that identity correlates with action. And in fact, most of your actions are going to be basically 100%, by the way, are going to be based on who you see yourself as. If you see yourself as someone who's really kind, you will, without even realizing, unconsciously, do good things and kind things to other people. It all comes from the way that you see yourself. If we go back to these three things over here, right? Who you are, your beliefs, traits, and skills. Changing your identity will allow you to quantum leap your reality. You'd go from being broke and upset at the fact that you haven't made any money yet to making 10, 20, 50K per month. So I told you, on the business side of things, it's just maths. It's just maths. You have to send a certain amount of outreaches, you have to pay a certain amount of money in ads, because now you know your return and you have to create a certain amount of headlines, etc., etc. But for you to genuinely see a change in your life very quickly, you have to change your identity. You have to be able to see yourself as a completely different person to who you think you are. Because who you think you are, you're going to continue being that person. If you continue being that person, you're going to continue living the same life. It all starts from within you, who you see yourself as, who you identify as. And this all comes down to the fact that your actions will always align with who you are. It just comes down to this very simple truth. Your actions will always align with who you think you are. To other people, you might be someone else, but who you think you are, your actions will always correlate with that. If I go very quickly back to this, because I want to make this actionable for you. I often get asked, like, Fedi, how do I do this? What do I do? Well, look, first of all, focus on your beliefs around money. What do you believe around making money? Okay. And then focus on micro beliefs. So beliefs around outreach, beliefs around your business model, beliefs around what you're selling, like these small things. But first of all, look at the macro, the big, big belief, and look at what you believe around money. Next, look at your traits. Are you patient enough? Are you strong enough? Are you disciplined enough? These things are very, very important. The two traits you should be focused on are disciplined and patient. Those are the two traits you should try and develop if you want to be making 10K per month and way, way above. And then your skills, the main skill you have to develop is just to be able to sell. You just have to learn how to sell the thing that you're wanting to sell to people. That could be in sales calls, that could be with copywriting, like if you're writing ads. Like generally the business model itself does not matter. And this is coming from me, who would rather you went through the business model that I did, which is a halal agency, and pay me to join my course and my program and my coaching to help you get there. But I'm telling you now, this business thing doesn't actually matter. This is very, very simple stuff. What actually matters is who you are, because your actions will always align with who you are, and who you are is dictated by your beliefs, your traits, and your skills. So focus on who you are, change who you are as a person. I recommend everybody watching this video, and especially you, Akhi, to just focus on your beliefs. Change the beliefs, because your beliefs dictate your actions as well as your identity. And if you want to identify as someone new, start feeling it within. Like before you go to bed, just think, Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah that I'm this kind of person. Alhamdulillah that I'm making 10K per month. Alhamdulillah I'm able to take care of my family. Alhamdulillah that I'm disciplined. Alhamdulillah, inshallah, I'll wake up for Fajr tomorrow. Alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful for the opportunities I've been given. I am successful. And then you allow yourself to drift off. That simple. Honestly, it's that simple. I genuinely want you to just focus on the fact that it took me longer than it should have to make money online, even though I had all the tactics. From the get-go, from when I first started entrepreneurship, I had the tactics. I had the business model, I had the tactics, but I was the issue. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe I was an entrepreneur, and that's what held me back. So you want to be making 10K per month? You want to be making 10K per month? Right? That's your goal? Focus on who you are. Change that person.